Right, you're back again, ladies and gentlemen, with the first part of the, the low hull, weathering the low hull. As you can see, we'll zoom in and we'll see what I've done. So what I've got to do is I'm going to replicate that on the other side, like I did with the upper hull. I've just tested what I wanted to do, and if I liked it, I was going to carry on with it. So this is what I'm going to do with the same as this on the other side, in a few easy steps. It's just a bit of time before each, make sure each part is dry before you add the next. Well, apart from the first, excuse me, tongue's all twisted this morning. Apart from the first application, which we'll do now. I also did the, I decided to put the the flag, I should say, on the rear turret basket. I think that's what I put it in here. It's very stained, so I'll just pop this out of the way and put it back under it so it doesn't get broken or anything. Right, so let's turn this round. That's what I started with, and all I'm going to use is the Wilder's Dry Earth, which is AL05, it's the aqua line, and I need some water as well, so an application brush. So I'll see what I can do from this angle. It's not going to be as easy. It's quite a gloopy type of material, so I should start off just by the lower hook, down on the lower. Good start, just by getting in there. This is just sort of like an outline of roughly where the dirt, muck and mud are going to go. And as we all know, it's pretty random. It's difficult to hold on to it. Okay, that's that bit on, and then we'll start off along the top. This is just okay. That's enough for that for now. So next is find a nice flat-headed brush, like so. Some water. What I'm going to do with the top one is just going to start streaking it down and working it, blend it all in. Looks a bit of a mess to start with. The more you blend it, take what's off on your brush and just carry on blending it in, so you can see the bit of the paint work underneath. You can see it's more going to be dust than seen on the other side it's more dust and dried mud than wet mud, even around the lower extremities of the running gear. You still see what I'm at? Yep. Just keep blending. Blend away to your heart's content until you get what you want as an end result. Just taking the paint off your brush. And just keep streaking it down as it naturally would. Doesn't matter about getting on the turn rollers because it's the colour they're going to be anyhow. A bit more water. Tap most of it off, you don't need to flood it. Just give us what we can work from anyhow, and the colours that we work from. I know a lot of this is going to be hidden by the shirts and things like that, but I know it's there. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to leave that now to dry, and when it's dry I'll get back to you and show you what it looks like. I'll continue blending it a bit yet, because I say it's a bit difficult blending from the side I'm on, so I'll carry on blending it, and when it's dry I'll get back to you. So Greg signing off, and we'll see you very soon. Right, back again. You can see how it's dried streaky from the top and all around it, which I wanted. So the next part is I'm going to take some, sorry again for across the camera, is some of the dirt that I made up, the you know, all the bits and bobs in there, and some of this, and I've mixed it into a slurry type thing there. So need a brush, just an old manky one, that will do nicely. And as you can see, it's quite gloopy. Sorry, where we are. Should be gloopy. It looks a bit green as well, doesn't it? Strange. So basically what I'm going to do now is go along to get some texture now. Just get it all down by the bottom of the running gear. As you can see, I've already taped off. I should have said that before. I've taped it all off, but I've on one of the wheels I snapped the, as you can see there, I snapped the part off, but I've drilled it out, and it still fits. Once you get glue on there, we won't know the difference. Just keep packing it in at the bottom to get some texture. Like that. And while it's wet again, I'll just close that up. That over there. Sorry, put that over there. That over there. And that over there. And get the wet brush again. And we just drag it slightly again, up and down, up and down. Not a lot. Just bring it up. Bring it up and down. Oop, get that there. Keep it steady. Bit more water. Again. Just keep blending it. Again. So we can just see through it again. Right, so what I'll do is I'll go back off now and I shall start keeping blending it in. And oh, green that looks, it looks terrible, doesn't it? Shoot, it's not that green. Anyhow, well, I'll go off now and we'll start to I'll blend that part in, let that dry, and then we'll see the next part. So Greg signing off, and we'll see you soon. Right, we're back again. It's not quite dry, but it doesn't really matter for this process. It still looks green, doesn't it? But I like how it's, you know, as if it's been washed with rain or something like that, and then it's dried. And so what I'm going to do now is one of my homemade bits again. This is a sand and dust and starship filth all mixed. All mixed together. So I've got it like that sort of colour. So what I'm doing is I'm going to speckle it. So what I'll do, cocktail stick. What I was tending to do when I did the other side is I took it from the lid and I just tested it. Yeah, if I can do it from this angle, let's see or not. Let's have a look. What I'll do is I'll put some on the lid and then we can take it and use it. Mix it in. Test it again. Don't do it from this side. Sorry about this. Can't get me a bit more towards the rear. Any you don't like. We can go in with a little brush and take them out. Like there's lots of big ones there I do not like, so I can always blend them in. Put an enamel thinner. Let's see what this is on this brush again. Where have I put it at? Here we go. I'm just going to pull it around this way just to get these fine. This is what I really want, is the fine ones on it. Right, if you can really see. So I'm going to leave that now to dry. This shouldn't take too long. And I'll see what it needs. If it needs another one, I shall do another one, but I'll go around now touching up all the bits that I don't like. When we get finished, we'll get back to you. So Greg signing off, and we'll see you again soon. Right, we're back again. So what I'm going to do is going to put a few grease marks and things like that. I'm going to use this Wilder product. It's diesel, grease, all sorts of rubbish in it. So it's a dark glossy effect, but I want the glossy to start with, but later on you'll see, well, you've seen on the other side that I've darkened, dusted it down a bit so you don't get that, you know, it's going to be dusty and So just particularly where your finger's going to be, maybe around the arms where they attach to the lower hull. Just random more than anything. Go to these shocks down here. Same on the other one. Maybe on this, I presume is the tensioner for the idler. Let me see if I can get all that. Right, we can do this now. I'm zooming again. So you should have zoomed in, shouldn't we really? Sorry about that. You can see what I've just done. I've just gone in there again. Can't get over this colour out. It makes it so different on my screen that I'm looking at. So different. Right, okay, so that's where I go. Maybe a couple of, I'll have to do these as an angle. So if I do this, I'm just going to have a couple of streaks coming down. Nothing too much. That's about it really. I think maybe a little bit round in here, even though the idler's going back on there, but just for fun. I might just put a couple around these bolts on here, even though the probably the sprocket will overcome that. Maybe a couple just underneath the return rollers. Just one, I think, like that. I think that's enough. I don't think it needs any more. We'll leave that to dry, and then we shall come back to it again once it's dry, and we'll carry on. I think there's only a couple of more bits to do for the lower hull. Obviously I've got to weather the rear and the front in the same way, but I'll do that once this is done. So we'll see you soon when this is dry. So it's Greg signing off, and we'll see you soon. Right, back again. As you can see, it's all dry. I left it overnight. Last night, just left it with the grease mark. It's a bit too shiny for my liking, so what I did next was from the dry earth, I let it right down to almost a filter. So it hardly coats the brush. Hardly coats the brush. So that's in there. So what I've done was nothing startling. Is I just went round like that. Pinch of a dirt. Shake excess off. Shake excess off. That's all I'm doing. Just this basically acts as a a pigment fixer really, but I'm going to add a bit of I think it just adds a bit to it at the end, because I wanted dry mud, I didn't want wet mud anyhow, and the grease is okay, but I just think it's a little bit on the shiny side, to say the least. So I'll just twist this back up here actually. So I'll do this up, just while I get into the bits that I've missed. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Happy with that. And some of the grease marks, see where I've got the well, usually 9 times out of 10 on these streaks you get dry dust, don't you? Sometimes a little bit on top of the rollers there. Just drops it off, doesn't it, sometimes on its way around, or flicks it up, whichever the case may be. Very similar to that. We are indeed. So once that's just set a little bit, I'll brush this off the grease marks a little bit. Just, it might be able to do it now actually. Just have a look. Let's just do it delicately. A little brush. It might work now. Yeah. And again, there's a little bit there. Right, so what I'll do with that, put that back over there, get myself a cloth. Just clean it up before we go any further. So what I'll do now is I'll leave this to dry, and I'll put some of that gravel and sand fixture just to be on the safe side, like I did on the other one. And I'll do the front and the rear to some of the specifications to that. And once that's done, I'll get back to you, and then we can start on the wheels. So moving along. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you soon. Right, I'm back again, ladies and gentlemen, with the next part. So I've got this is all dried now, so we can happy with that. I did the rear. I just wants brushing off slightly. We'll get to that later on. It's only you're going to see from there really. And the front same again. That's going to be hidden by a bit of track as well. So that's why I haven't gone all the way. I'll have to weather the track when it goes into there to finish that off. So basically that's the lower hull. I didn't bother doing the bottom. I just thought, no. But quite happy with that. So what we're going to do now is I'll pop that over there for now. And we're going to make a start on the wheels and the sprockets and everything else. So what I'm going to use is just the same mix again as before, the one that I mixed all together. A soft brush and a brush to apply it. That's all it is. Nothing. So what I'm going to do is we'll zoom in a bit, I think. There we are. All I'm going to do is just ram it round. Oh, there's a fly got in the bloody window now, you bugger. Bugger off. Bloody things. She's got all the bits in as well, so if I can get it in between some of the wheels, we sort of some of the parts of the sprocket. I know it seems a shame as I did a lot of the weathering on the wheels as well, but it will be seen. It will be seen. Oh, go away, fly, for God's sake. What the window. Yeah, it's quite a nice day today for a change. We've got beautiful blue sky and it's quite warm. You would think we're back in summer again for a day. Let's see how long it lasts. And don't forget the back. Right, so basically what I'm going to do is just get some water on this brush, take most of it off and just gently blend it in. Take your time, get the effect you want. Sorry, we out the shot. I am. I apologise again. I keep forgetting. So we got that, let that dry. A bit too much in that bit there, but we shall just endeavour to take a bit of that out. That's better. There we go. So I'm going to leave that dry now, and we'll do a wheel, and then I'll carry on off camera. And I'm going to start with the back wheels first. The back wheel, which was a good off Nightshade, I think I heard it from. I think it was about the tracks and the wheel at the back would have more mud and dust and crap on than the front wheels. So that's what I'm attempting to do. Again, out the camera again, I keep forgetting. You can pack it in, but then you can get rid of a lot of it anyhow. That's back on the back wheels, so we've got that on there. There we are. Maybe it's slightly too much. You can just like so. We'll let that dry and we'll see what we come up with. I can just do a little bit more just on that part there. Dry compact, that's it. So we'll pop that on there. Right, so what I'll do is I'll carry on with the wheels and the sprockets and idler wheels, and once they're done and dried we'll come back to you and I'll show you the next bit. So this is Greg signing off and we'll catch you soon. Right, back again. So this is what we've got at the moment. It's dried out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is it's just the same process as I roughly did with the low hull. I'm just going to, with a bit of this thinned dry dirt, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I think would help, wouldn't it? And this time make sure I get in the camera angle right. It's too far near. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some random just on there, and then I'm just going to gently, not too much, just enough, all the gaps that we've just tapped the excess off, and then we've got, there we are, just enough what we need. Can't believe how green the things look. So I'll let that dry. In the meantime, with the I'll just go and polish these again. Oh, we're on some that. It can ring. I can't be bothered. It can ring. It'll be only junk anyhow. And again, obviously on the inside. Looks like I'm going to have to go catch you in a bit, boys. It was my daughter, so I thought I better answer it in the end. So where was I? Here. With the this is just metallized powder with one of them little makeup things. So I've done that. I'll just close that lid on there for now. We're going to have to wait. Same with that and that. Right, so what I've got here now is just one of my washes. This is the burnt umber wash. Well, filter actually. Excuse me once again. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Right, yeah, I was saying is make one of my little washes. This is the burnt umber one. Well, it's a filter more than a wash. Little, there we are, little fine brush, and all I'm going to do is take it from the lid, take some off, and see these, there's bolts around the edges. Can we see? There we are, there we are. There's bolts around the edges, so I'm just going to tap them. Just go on. It'll probably take more than one application, but right, there's that one up in the centre there, one of the greases. Let's have a little streak coming down off there, I think. They probably need another application, but once it's dry we shall give it another go. So I'll put that one back and I'll get another one. I'll get the one of the idle wheel. Same again, you can see in the centre there's some bolt heads, so they might have a bit of grease coming out and weeping out of them. So can you still, are we anywhere near? No. There we go. You see, just these little bolt heads. And again, too much on that one. Obviously they'll darken down. It won't be shiny. I don't think I need any more on there anywhere else. And then we'll do a wheel, and then I shall carry on and finish off. And then we can attach the wheels. There's some little bolt heads in the centre of the hub there. So I'll just run a bit of thing around it actually, I think. Not on all of them, I'll dab some on and I'll run a ring round this one. I'll just run a ring round it. So I shall carry on now with that, and I'll be back shortly. So it's Greg signing off, and we'll see you soon. Right, back again. As you can see, all the stuff is now dried. After I did the application of the mix, I went over with the dry stuff and just where it was still wet, and it's just caught onto the parts that I wanted it to, and I just dropped a bit of the gravel and sand fixer. It seems to be better than normal pigment fixer. You don't get that tide mark as such. So yeah, it's come out quite well. I'm quite pleased with it. So if you can see, I did all the wheels as well. I'm going to add a few grease marks and things like that. I've done on the front, the tracks. I've got a bit of a, you know, texture again on that from the mud mix. And on the rear as well, we've got it right underneath. I haven't done the very bottom. I probably will finish up doing the very bottom, but yeah. So I'm quite pleased with that. So we're going to move on to the tracks now. So I shall just move it out the way. I've already made the tracks up. It's not one of the first things I did actually on this kit was build the tracks up. So what I've done, made them up, took them off. Which one's which? That one's that one, and that one's that one. Yep. Yes, all that is that's German grey. So I'm going to try something slightly different this time. I'm going to lightly dust them with a light grey now. Just have an old bottle of XF66, the Tamiya one. We'll let down with a bit of lacquer thinner. Just this one instead of the X20. Just use this one. So I'll get my airbrush. I'll just put my compressor on. So I'll just pause it a second while I get the compressor on. Right, we're up and running. So all I'm going to try and do is just something slightly different. Is just a real thin coat. Just a slight dusting. That's all I'm going to do. So that's 1, 2, let's do that. Let's mix them up. And I'm going to mix it up again. Actually, I need to go back and do the guide. Mine's gone blank again. What's it called? Bloody hell, brain dead or what? Guide on, track on, whatever you want to call them. It's all patchy, I don't want it all covered. You know, some of the grey, obviously a lot of the grey is coming through from the German grey, which I want. Bit of a spit there, usual. Right, I think that'll do. So we'll leave this to dry. It shouldn't take too long. Time I get my airbrush cleaned and everything else, it'll be ready to come back. So you can see I'll just pop the airbrush down a second. Yeah, just you can see it's just a light dusting. It's the greys, you know, it's hardly there. The inside again is all blotchy and different colours, different greys. So we'll leave that to dry, and when it's dry we'll come back to you. So Greg signing off, see you soon. Right, back again ladies and gentlemen. As you can see I've got one track on, so I'm going to go through the same procedure again for the track from where we left off with the grey paint. So what I've done, well, I'll show you the track anyhow. We'll zoom in, maybe zoom in. We'll have a look. There we go. You can see it's come out quite well. What I wanted. Not too shabby. Got the just enough mud in there, I think. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm very happy with them at the moment, so they look pretty decent, I have to say. Just go nice with what I've done. Nice fitting tracks, fairly simple to do. You know, there's no complications. You know, the only thing I had to take out was a couple of pin marks, but they were risen, so they came off quite easily. So I think that was on the two long lengths, and I can't remember, I don't think there was any on the single length, just on the long lengths. So there's about 6 on the top and about 6 on the bottom. But they weren't, I would say they weren't difficult to take out. So right, we shall just pop this to the side. One moment, put this down. And we shall go on how we got to that stage. So, as you know, we got to this stage before we on the last update, just the grey sprayed light grey over the top. So what I'm going to use now I'm going to spray. There's a leak in this somewhere. Where did that come from? So I'll have to stand it on that for now. The bench is falling apart today, everything I touch just seems to yeah, so we got to that point there, haven't we? We did the dark German grey and then the light grey over the top, just dusting with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray them with some dipping wash, which is the from Vallejo, and it's the 73300 Lavado Serpio dipping wash. Sorry about the jar's a bit naff, but yeah, so I'm going to spray that on. It's very sticky and I don't know why when it's leaking. So I'll just pop some. You don't have to do anything with it, you just have to, you can use it straight from the thing. You can thin it down if need be, but for what I'm going to use it for, it should be adequate. One more. I'm having to use these bloody little syringes things. Right, so we'll go for it. Here again, just I've got that wet, and then we'll turn it round so you get the other side as well, coming down it. Right, so I think we'll just leave them to dry at the moment. So let's have a look what we've got. Yeah, so they've got that, you've got that sort of rust, not quite rust if you know what I mean, in between look. So we'll leave that to dry. It shouldn't take too long to dry, and then we shall come back to the next step, which is there again, nothing different for anybody else that do tracks. You know, I just thought I'd try this little variation with the grey and the dipping wash, see what kind of results I get from that. So I'm quite happy with that. And as I didn't want them caked in mud, you know what mud there is all dry, so that's a good base to work from. So we'll be back very soon when this is dry, and then we can go on the next bit. So Greg signing off, we'll catch you soon. Right, back again. As you can see, they dried quite nicely, it didn't take long to dry. You've got that sort of tinge brown rust, whatever you want to call it, it's quite nice. And you've got the greys coming through as well, every single time, excuse me. Bloody cold callers, this is all, excuse my language, piss off. Right, so where were we? We've got the nice colour. So what I'm going to do now is part of the Dust and Rust set from Life Colour. I'm going to use a couple of rust tones. I'm going to use the dark shadow, sorry, Rust Shadow, which is 1903, and we're going to use the Rust Base Coat 1902. So let's pop them just back there. So all I'm going to do is basically toothpick Give it a little shake. These are brilliant. These pigments, you can't believe the amount of pigment you get in these things. So colourful. Where's my big brush that I was using? I bet I've put it back, haven't I? Right, isn't it? Oh, bear me neck. Right. Let's see, here we go. Somewhere. Just got to use a sort of a thickish, tight brush, hard brush. Let's pop it over there. As you can see, the colours, and it's just quite thick, and it lets down, and everything is really good. So I'm just going to take it from the lid. I'm just going to take some of the excess off first, and then just gently just random. Let's just turn it round to this side. Sometimes you don't get the splattering effect on both sides. Right, I'll put that one over there for now. Start on this one. Let's just get into that. I think you're really going to see. So, I'll just turn it over. Just do the same again. Random. There's a bit on that front bit there, look. Yeah, so stay there. Right, so that's that one. Let's see on this side now. I shall just clean the brush quickly. Water based acrylic, so you know the water, it'll clean in water. Put that one back. Put the lid on properly would help. Still not on right. Right, so we'll give this one a shake as well. This is the dark shadow. So what I'll do is I shall turn the paper around. And we'll just do the same again. This one's a bit browner. Big bubble on the top. There we go. turn it over, let's do the same again. So no two tracks will be the same, even if you've been through the same mud, everything's going to be different, aren't they, and random, and it's just the way it goes, I suppose, wherever you are in the world and what kind of tracks you're running, metal, rubber, whatever. Right, pop that in there, get it done. Right, so we got those two on. Let me just take this you can see, I don't know if you can really see, the camera might not pick it up as much. So you go just to splatters and things on there. Just a bit random. Again on here. Really can't really see that much at the moment, but you will. So that's the base I'm going to work from in here, from the to put the dust and muck on the tracks, which will be the next step. So I'm going to leave that to dry. Shouldn't take too long to dry with being acrylics, and we'll get back to you and we'll carry on and complete the tracks and get them onto the Panzer III. So see you soon. Right, we're back again. It's dried quite nicely. Didn't take too long to dry. We got that sort of effect, random. Right, so what I'm going to use now is a metallizer, which is the I've had this for a long time. It's the C1 metallizer on C1 models. So the car enthusiasts probably use more of this than us armourer guys, but it's ideal for where the wheels run on the track. So what we're going to do now, let's just zoom in a little bit. Maybe we can probably see better now, can't we? So what I'm going to do is just going to where the wheels would run, both sides. Just get onto these parts. They're a bit more difficult. Sorry about the shot and things, I just want to get in there. Right, this. I know it makes me a bit bright at the moment, but when it's done, you'll see. It looks a bit bright, doesn't it? Let's just zoom out of it, it's a bit too close now. Oh, out. And then we can just do the actually I'll leave them till the last bit actually. Right, I'll leave that bit till last actually, so we'll just put that back at the moment. So what we're going to do now is same again, the mix again. It's a bit let down again. Let's zoom out now because we can't see properly, can we? Oh, in bloody hell, never. That's better. So it's just the same mix again. So it looks green, doesn't it? Weird colour. I can assure you it's not green. Right, so what we're going to do first is get a little stippling brush, just an old one I've cut down, and you just stipple it. Get some on the brush. We'll do this first, we see. We'll zoom in just a touch, I think. So you're going to go in between each link, like that, at the moment. I found a better way, if you can see my brush, is I twist it. You can do it in batches. I'll do about 10 links here. Just twist it, get all of it, twist it in. There we go. Use that random look still. Keep going along. Right, so when we've got that bit, just going to brush with water, because bear in mind it's acrylic. You can water best, so you can just put a bit of water on the cloth. Just take bits off as you're going along. You want some of the nice colour underneath to show as well. Just keep dabbing your brush when you get the water, just to take the excess water off, and just gradually work your way through it. Oops, sorry. I'll have to get this camera lark sorted. I'm terrible. Just keep dipping it, twisting it. Too much water on that one. So there's no two bits of links going to be the same, is there? So we're going to get something like that. Yeah, again, you can't really, I don't know if you can see that or not. That sort of appearance of with the colour coming through from behind the dry mud. So I'll carry on doing this with the same techniques again, just back and front, and when I've done it, I'll come back to you. So it's Greg signing off, and we'll see you 15 minutes, well, instant for you, for 15-20 minutes for me. Right, back again. I nearly forgot to stop and show you what I'd done. Obviously when the mix of muck and dust had dried, we got that effect, which I'm quite happy with. And then I went over with the metallizer powder onto the cleats, and on the inside where the wheels, and on the guide horn, sorry, on there. So now I'm going to place this track, block them into two halves like I did before, and they should just pop on, he hopes. Yeah. That's it. Just need that to super glue that. That's no problem. So when I super glue it, I'll just zoom in a little bit. So then once it's zoomed in and all this is fastened down, and sorry, once it's zoomed in, once all this is fastened down and ready to go, we've got a couple of little things to do on it, but we'll come back to that at a later date when we're finishing off things. So I'll call this the end of update 5, and we'll start off with update 6. Is like the shirts, and some of the upper deck wants a little bit more dust, and then I think we're about there on the little build, and then we can move on to the the diorama, which I have made a start. I'll actually show you what I've done so far. Just 2 seconds, I'll just remove that. I've actually made the base. So let's zoom back out. One of these days I'll get it right. Right, so what I've made here is, you know, when you get your models and things, all the polystyrene is in there. This is just balsa wood. This is an old piece of wood I found on the floor in our house. Not on the floor, just, you know, not being used, so I claimed it. Yeah, so obviously now we're going to have to put a layer of, I'm going to use filler, I think, for this one, because it's going to be quite level, apart from whichever end's going to have a big gouge out where there's going to be a bomb crater. But what I was thinking is, let's have a look where we are. I'll just give you a quick look, see what you think, and then we'll call it a day on this until we can start doing it properly. Right, so we've got 2 side buildings there like that. It's going to run onto a corner, I think. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do position it yet. But yeah, once to zoom back out, we can't go any further, can we? Yeah, no, we can't go any further back out. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, we're going to have to decide on. I think I might even have it that way. Unsure yet. Unsure how I'm going to position it yet, but I think this is going to be the road and the road there, pavement, bomb crater, tank coming around, soldiers. I'll do a bit of the inside material as well. So yeah, we'll be alright with that. So we'll catch you later on, and I just was going to say something about somebody. Oh yeah, there's one of my good friends, Al Modelling Mayhem. He's not far off 1,000, so I'll just let you know, if anybody that's sub to me, give him a look and see what you think, and you know, give him a sub, and he can get to that magic 1,000, which he's looking forward to. So I'll leave a link in his channel in the descriptions, and give him a look. He likes his figures, he does all sorts, he builds all sorts of scales. I think his favourite scale is 172, but he builds all sorts. So thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much for keeping with this build. So the build is nearly complete, but not quite, but we're getting there. So I'd like to thank to all my subscribers, new and old again, thank you very much. I really much appreciate it. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very, very soon with the next part.